Today we are going to use scale factor in order to increase or decrease three-dimensional objects or scale drawings. A scale model is a proportional model of a three-dimensional object. Can you think of a three-dimensional object that we can scale up or scale down? Scale factor is how dimensions are related to the dimensions of the actual object. Scale is the ratio between two sets of measurements. Scales can use the same units or different units. A scale drawing is a proportional drawing of an object. For example number 1, we're going to find a scale factor. We are given the length and height of an actual race car and the length and height of a model race car. The first thing that you'd want to do is write a ratio. To write a ratio for the length, use your model length as the numerator and your race car length as the denominator. Write this down. Your model length is 11 inches and your race car inch length is 132 inches. This is your scale factor. The last thing that you must do is simplify. 11 and 132 have a greatest common factor of 11. 11 divided by 11 is 1, and 132 divided by 11 is 12. So your scale factor is 1/12. That means the model size is 1/12 the size of the actual. Next, you want to use the height in order to understand that the height also decreased by 12. Your model height is 5 5/10, and your race car height is 66. Do you get the same scale factor? For example number 2, we're going to look at a photograph of Vincent van Gogh's painting, Still Life with Irises Against a Yellow Background. It has dimensions of 6 1300 centimeters and 4 9/10 centimeters. The scale factor is 1 to 15. Find the size of the actual painting to the nearest tenth of the centimeter. The first thing that we want to do is identify our dimensions. It's 6 1300 and 4 9/10 centimeters. Next, we want to use the scale factor and set up a proportion. First, we're going to look for the length of our actual painting. So that means I'm going to use my length value with my scale factor. It's set up like this. X represents the actual length that I don't know. My scale factor was 1 to 15. Finally, I just cross multiply and divide. 1x is equal to 92. Don't forget your units. Using this same method, you can find the width of your actual painting. Cross multiply and divide. What value did you get for the width of your painting? the value should be 73 and 5/10. This means that the painting is 92 centimeters long and 73 and 5/10 centimeters wide. Finally, we're going to use scale factor to use measurement. So on a map of Florida, the distance between Hialeah and Tampa is 10 and 5/10 centimeters. What is the actual distance between the cities if the map scale is 3 centimeters equals 80 miles? This means that every 3 centimeters on my Google map will actually represent 80 miles in real life. I can use this scale factor to determine if my map is 10 and 5/10 centimeters, what is the actual distance in miles? Here's what we know. The scale is 3 centimeters equals 80 miles. This can also be written as a fraction. My 10 and 5/10 centimeters should go as my numerator. I don't know how many miles it is, so I'd cross multiply and divide. 3 times x is 3x. 18 times 10 and 5/10 is 840. Divide by 3 on both sides. And my answer is 280 miles. So the distance between the two cities is 280 miles. Go ahead and look at your guided practice sheet. Please complete answers on a separate sheet of paper. What is the scale factor for the actual grizzly bear and the model grizzly bear? Remember to put your model length over your actual length. And if you simplify, what is your answer? Did you get 14? Your scale factor is 1 over 14. The model multiplied by 14 to get the actual grizzly bear. In question number 2, a photograph, a sculpture is 4 and 2/10 centimeters tall and 2 and 5/10 centimeters wide. What is the scale factor is 1 to 16. Find the size of the actual sculpture. How would you set your problem up? Well, remember to take the length and the width separately. So you need 4 and 2/10 centimeters for your length. You don't know the length of the actual sculpture, and then use your proportion. Set it up the same way for your width. Don't forget to use the same scale factor. Finally, for number 3, Miss Jackson is driving from South Bend to Indianapolis. She measures a distance of 4 and 3/10 centimeters between the cities on her Indiana road map. What is the actual distance between the cities if the map scale is 1 centimeter equals 30 miles? 1 centimeter equals 30 miles. Can also be written as a ratio or a fraction. Don't forget your units. What value would you put as your numerator? What value would you put as your denominator? Cross multiply and divide to get your answer. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and ask your teacher. Your goal for the rest of the day is to complete numbers 4, 5, and 6 of your independent practice. Thanks for watching and enjoy.